Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this session, we are going to learn a very interesting thing that how to call API in Python. Okay, uh, calling API in Python is very easy because Python is providing us such a module. Using that module, we can easily get the JSON response in our console. So let's see like how to fetch the API in a Python. So the first of all, very first thing that we need one REST API. Okay, what exactly REST API and what is API? You always aware of. You're already aware about that, but now we are going to see how to paste that JSON REST API in our Python. So the very first thing that we need one API. So let's say I have this for example API. Once I hit on this browser, it will produce some JSON response. Like you can see that this is what a JSON response. And when our job is to fetch this REST API response in our console. Okay. If you observe this data, so it look like very complicated what exactly it is. So I will going to taking one lecture on how what is JSON and what kind of JSON it is, what is JSON object, what is JSON array. All this thing I will get going to take a lecture and I will upload on lecture YouTube very soon. But as of now, our task is to be fetch this JSON data in our console. So now this data is an online. It is not an offline data because it is like any data it be changed on database automatically it generate a dynamic JSON response. So now let's paste this JSON data in our console. So what we have to do, we have one URL, and now for fetching this data in our console, so for that we need two models here. So based on the models, we have to going to fetch that JSON response. Okay. So which model we needed? The very first model that we have needed, that is nothing but the request model. REQUEST. The request model that we need, using that request model, we can fetch that JSON response. REQUEST is request. And the second is the JSON model for printing the JSON response. These two models we have needed for calling the REST API. So let's see that the very first thing that you have to do, you have to install this request model in your console, like in your Pi system. So for that, we have to open the command prompt. And once you open the command prompt and just hit the pip install, inst install, and the request, requests. I have already installed this model, so it will say that the model is already requirement is already satisfied. Okay. If you are new to install, then it will install automatically, download a package from its resources and get installed in our system. Once you installed this model in your system, so let's go to your file and generate one new file. For example, I'm generating one file and store it in a root folder, whichever the folder you have maintaining for running the Python programs. So let's say I will just call it call API dot py. I can write any name, so that will automatically take call API dot py extension. This is what it is. Okay, the very first thing that we have to do, we have to import that model because based on that model only we can call that data. So which model it is we have to import? import 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 which model? Request requ. So request model we have to import requests request. Check the spelling requests. Then second model we needed, that model name is an JSON model. JSON model. Try and catch. This is we need it for if any errors are occur. So at that time we need to use this thing except except. Is there any error occur? So you can just print the error. So that's all. Nothing else. Okay. So in double quote we'll missed one write one error message error. So whichever the errors occur in sometime the URL is not working or sometimes server is not responding. So based on anything error, so that will be going to print here. Now the second things we needed, the URL. The URL means the URL that we are hitted on as of now on console or like in browser. The same URL we are needed. So URL is equal to in double quote. Or directly you can pass that your request.get also, but I'm maintaining a separate URL. So let's go to the browser. Where is the browser? Like this. Okay, just copy this thing. Now come back to our folders. So this, paste it here. So this is what a link we are having, API link. So you may add any API link. Make sure that it is a REST one. Okay. So for example, now this is what API we are having. Now, second things, any variable we can store that response into something variable. So I'm using the res name variable. You can use any variable name, doesn't matter. Now the module name. What is the module name here? The request. The request is a module name. And after that, you have to use the method, like which method you are used for generating API. So I have my API using a get method. So I'm using the get method. And in that get method, you can pass that URL. Okay. So this is a URL. So request.get this URL. So the whatever the response is come based on that URL, and that response we have to store in some any variable, for example, data. Okay, here I'm going to use a response res variable we are storing, and I'm converting that response into a JSON format. That's all. So that for that, the first model we need for the accessing all the request data which is coming from the URL, and the second JSON model is convert all that raw data into a JSON format. And simply you're going to print that response, print, and print the data here, data. Okay. Now just simply code is ready. We have imported two models. We have the URL is working, that is APIs are working, and one response variable we are taking request.get, that we have passed that URL, and after that we are response and we convert it into the JSON format. Let's run this program. So once you run this program, solve, boom, you will getting this output, a JSON response. So whatever the request is coming from the URL, as it is, you are getting to response here. See, okay, as simple as it is. It is not that much complicated. Once you have a response data in your console, now you can do a lot of things with these things. Okay, you can produce any outputs, you can generate any output, you can extract particular data. A lot of things you're going to do with this response. So the very first important thing is to fetch this data. Okay. So fetching this data in your proper systems. Now you can further on where you can go. You can do uh, uh, you can apply the for loop and extract a particular data also. For example, I'm not going to go in some details, but I will simply like to know that if you want only the shop name from this particular data. Okay, so how you can extract? First of all, the first target is to get the data as it is, whatever the response is coming from the URL, the same data you are fetching here. Once you have that data, and you can apply the for loop in that thing. So for suppose I am doing in range, range, suppose I am getting just two data, up to two range only I want to print. Here this is for loop, and I'm going to provide a print. In data variable, we are getting the entire data. So I will write the data. And after that, you need to pass your array name. So which is our array name? The array name is your parent row. Within that parent row, what I'm going to do after that parent row, I want which name I want, a shop name I want. But for which position, that is I'm providing the I, and for the I position I want that shop name here. That's all. Okay, you can see that now we have the code is ready. Now if you try to run, it will print only two shops. I will going to comment this entire data and only try to print this two shop name. See, so now in this way, the first target is to extract all the JSON data in your console, and after that you can, based on your array name and key value pair name, you can extract this data. So it is printing only a two shop name. Why it is only two shop name? Because in the for loop we are providing only a two range. If you're going to do this, it's a 10, so it will produce a 10 wine shop names. Okay, why it is giving error also? Because there is no 10 wine shop. Okay, only the 5 shop is presented, so you can just now work in that. Now it is working fine. Okay, that's all. So this is what a way to face the API REST API response in your console. Now further on, what are you going to do? Further on, you can do like you can extract the particular data, and you can use the pandas library, and you can convert this data into the excel also. So that also the possible. I'm not going to I'm just showing that what kind of last means entire output you can produce. First target is to JSON data and then extract the particular data. Then you can convert into the list, and then you can do the lot of things with this. I'm just showing this data. See, I have extracted all the data, and I'm also using the pandas library here. And with the help of this data, I can produce, and accordingly I split the data, the wanted data. Then at the end, I'm converting into the Excel. This is the end target. But the first of all, you have to get that entire JSON data into the Excel, and then you're going to do first of all print that JSON data in the console, and try to extract the particular data and try to put it into the list. And then once you are done with this, then go with the Python Panda library, and you can using Pandas library, you can simply that convert that data into a Excel format also. So let me show that how it's gonna end results. This is what end result we are having. We are extracting a data, JSON data, then printing onto the console. And apart from that, I'm extracting the city and the shop name and converting it to Excel. So this is what the powerful feature of the Python. With Python, I will produce like make the very complicated things very easy. Okay. So in this way, we can now it is Excel is a dynamically generated. If you get the any JSON URL from the console, like JSON maybe URL, so automatically that you can parse into that JSON into a console, and then if you can convert into the Excel. Now later on, you can do the reverse thing also. Even you can extract the data from the Excel file and then can upload also on Sprout also. In the both the way are possible. So now in this session, what we are going to learn, we are trying to paste some REST API JSON data, or basically we are how to call that JSON response here on the console that we are trying to find. And now using this script, you can easily produce the JSON response. Hope you understood this. Try to print at least can get any URL and try to print the JSON response as it is, and then try to print the extract the particular data. Then further on you can do the lot of operation because at the end working with the Python, so you need a data. You may get the data in any kind of in variable, in string, in Excel, in file, in JSON file. Even you can the API. The API is an eight things. Okay, and further on, there may be a deck you can use any database to connect with the database, and then accordingly you can extract the data. But once you have the API, so already it is connected to the database, so all things will get covered with the API. So let's do and try yourself. And if you have any error, then try to comment on my YouTube channel. Then I will answer these questions. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you.